Hey everyone, Tosh here. I'm really excited to share this video with y'all. I think it's one of the most important ones that I've created to date. Today we're going to be talking about mental health in crypto. So a couple reasons why this is really important is because crypto is such a volatile space where really crazy things can happen. It's possible for you to make a generation's worth of wealth, and it's also possible for you to ruin your whole life in a very short amount of time. And with that can come a lot of vulnerabilities to some mental health difficulties. So in today's video, I'm going to go over some of the tips that have helped me a lot to kind of maintain my mental health through this crazy journey. And I hope these tips are really helpful for you as well. Alright, just to start us off, nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice or therapeutic advice. If you do need help, please go see a professional. There's no shame in doing so. The first thing that we're going to talk about is avoiding catastrophes with just good crypto basics and fundamentals. This mostly relates to security. And one really good question to ask yourself is, if you have one wallet with a ton of assets in it, think about how it would affect your life if that wallet got wiped. And then if you're like, oh my God, that would be terrible, then it's time to go get a ledger or a Trezor as a cold wallet to keep that a little bit more protected. It's also good to just have other good crypto safety basics. This includes not authorizing or signing transactions on any site that looks a little bit shady from your main wallet. Always minting your NFTs from a different hot wallet and then transferring it to a different one. I know those ETH fees can get expensive, but it really is worth it just to keep your safety and peace of mind. Never click a link from a random DM on Discord or anything like that. 99.9% of them are scams unless you really know the person and that they're a reputable person, but even then I would recommend be careful. And then also splitting your assets across many different wallets. So if one of those wallets were to get wiped, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's not like your whole life savings or how you're going to pay your rent or your mortgage next month. You still have some funds protected if in case something does go wrong. All right, so I've got a couple different points for you here. So first of all is accepting the fact that you're going to miss pumps. The crypto and NFT space is getting so huge right now that there are projects booming in every which direction. There are things that people have dedicated their whole careers to right now that you've never even heard of. And it's impossible to keep track of it all. You're gonna miss pumps. You're not always gonna hit that perfect thing. And you know, sometimes you sell like your winning project before it actually hit the big pump. And you have to accept that because really there's no other way that you can deal with it. If you're just like upset about like, oh man, I missed out on that pump and it's the worst ever. Everybody else is getting like a 10x on their mutant apes right now, and I sold mine at 10 ETH when they're 40 now. That's whatever, guys. There's nothing you can do about that decision in the past. So all you can really do is accept it and let it go. Try to learn from your mistakes as well. The other point to this is be empathetic for the happiness of others. If you recently hit a big like 10 or 20x, you know what that feeling is like, and it's pretty awesome. And just note that if you see a project that is mooning right now, there are thousands of people that are experiencing that same kind of euphoria. Be happy for them. It's gonna lighten you up a little bit as well. And really, like I mentioned earlier, this is kind of something you have to do because the only alternative to this is just remaining jealous. It's a really toxic trait. It's not going to do you any good. The sooner you can accept this, the sooner you can learn from your mistakes and move on from this disaster. Okay, tip number 3 here is solidifying a strategy that fits your lifestyle and personality. So let's say just a couple hypothetical situations here. Let's say you work 50 hours a week, you are a moderator on a Discord channel, and you have a family. If the situation is similar to yours and you're trying to go for big degen plays all the time in every which direction, you're going to have a really hard time with keeping up with the rest of your life, and that could cause some turmoil. However, if you are a 16 or 18-year-old and you already have $1 million in JPEGs, which there are plenty of you out there, then maybe this full-on degen strategy is good for you because you have the time to invest into it. That's really not detracting from anything else. As an 18-year-old, you'll learn very quickly that you know nothing at 18. But going on for that strategy is going to be really compatible with that lifestyle. So find out what your goals are, what you're trying to get out of crypto, analyze your lifestyle, and see what is going to be most feasible given all of those elements together to form your strategy. It's going to save you a lot of stress and make it so you don't fall behind in other areas of your life. Another thing that you should consider here is your personality and how your mental fortitude is in the turmoil. So, for example, if you're playing for riskier stuff, it's really easy to lose literally all of your money. The coin could drop to zero. And you have to think about, are you willing to take those risks? And if that situation were to happen, how is this going to affect me? So definitely take that into account as to how you're going to take these different kinds of hardships that could occur into the crypto space. All right, this mental health tip I think many people are going to relate to, and this one is detaching your portfolio success away from your happiness. These need to be two different things. Think about it. So with the crypto space is crazy. It's so volatile. We can have huge pumps either direction on any moment, any coin. And if you attach your happiness to that, essentially what you're doing is you're putting your own stability on the same roller coaster as the crypto space. And we already know that that is a wild ride. And by experiencing really intense ups and intense downs in very fast succession, it can be really damaging to your mental health, and it makes it difficult to kind of keep your cool sometimes. So some ways you can do this is just be grateful for the little things, make smart decisions with your portfolio, know what you're gonna be doing. And I think our next mental health tip is gonna make this a little bit easier for people who struggle with this. Okay, next tip here that I think is going to help out is to disconnect from the charts. So if you're always watching the charts, you're riding that whole roller coaster minute by minute with the chart flowing. But if you only check it every once in a while, then you have all of that experience condensed, and it's not as impactful for better or worse when you look at it. So one really good strategy to combine with this is to set notifications for certain price marks. So if you know you're going to sell at this mark, set a notification or maybe a stop loss if you're on an exchange where you can actually program that automatically so you don't need to stare at the chart. It's just if it hits your landmark, you're going to get the notification. By doing this, it actually makes it pretty easy once you get into a routine of just checking the charts a couple times a day and then seeing if anything hit your landmarks to make a move. Okay, next tip here I think is really important as well, and this is managing your social media black holes. So we all know we've been on social media forever, and we know how easy it is to get into hours-long conversations with people or looking at too much Twitter, scrolling through, what really just doesn't have any purpose and is kind of meaningless. And this can really suck up a ton of your time if you don't keep an eye on it and don't manage it appropriately. So some strategies that have really helped for me, first of all, is turning off all of my notifications. So I don't keep any notifications on my Twitter, my Discord, or anything. I only check it when I intentionally go to check it. And making this a little bit more of an intentional activity has been really helpful to kind of space out my work a little bit better and keep more focus on the things that I am doing rather than always getting distracted by a new ping or a new notification or a new conversation that's going on. So I'm not saying don't participate at all, because there's so much benefit that you can get from connecting with these different communities, but just make sure that it's not sucking up all of your life and turning into a black hole for your time. All right, we've all had those benders in the crypto and NFT space where you're at your computer for 6, 8, maybe even more hours just staring at NFTs or looking at charts, or on Twitter just looking at new projects. And really, one thing that can really help you is just going outside. Getting that movement will get some endorphins rolling through your system, which is going to increase your happiness. If it's a sunny day out, and just if you have the opportunity to get into nature or go for a nice walk, that movement and the sunshine, soaking up that vitamin D, can increase your happiness quite a bit significantly as well. Also, since you're on the computer dealing with some really volatile things that can work with you, it does kind of put you at a bigger risk for substance abuse, to kind of like either celebrate those highs or to alleviate some of those lows. So it's always good to kind of keep that in check and think about, like, when are you consuming substances, and am I doing this in healthy ways, or is it really like making my experience better in the short or long term? So always keeping an eye on that. And if you don't have time to like go for a long walk outside, sometimes even just getting out of your chair and stretching for 2 to 3 minutes can make a huge change in your mood and happiness. Okay, the last mental health tip that I'm going to talk about in this video is detaching crypto from other areas of your life and to go be human. First of all, let's talk about communication. So when there's people that are really not interested into crypto and you're trying to talk to them about what's all the exciting things that are going on that you've seen in the space recently or that have happened to you recently, both parties usually end up getting kind of bored. You do find the occasional person who is really into crypto and wants to learn more about crypto. It can be really fun to teach those people, but honestly, most people just don't want to hear it. So find the appropriate people that do want to hear it to share your wins and successes with, and stay away from the people who just aren't interested at all, because you're gonna look like this bro right here. Also, if your current strategy is boring, you don't need to like be on Twitter and staring at the charts all the time. Just for example, if you're just holding most of your stables in UST and the Anchor protocol, earning 20% APR, while the market's kind of boring, it allows you to go do other things. You don't need to be in crypto 24/7. So go and live your life, go be human. That's the main message here. The next thing I want to talk about is, if you've done really well in crypto, that's really, I think the best way to spend your money is on experiences with people that you care about. So whether that is just buying a flight for somebody to go visit you, or you visit them, or you guys meet up in a location, or do something really special with people that are important to you, it's 1,000 times better investment than buying stuff. Note, if you have enough money, stuff is still cool, but your bang for your buck and your satisfaction and how much you're going to get out of this is going to be so much more exponentially higher for creating and nurturing those friendships and relationships with your money. Thank you all so much for watching this video. It means the world to me. Hopefully these tips are going to be helpful to improve your quality of life, no matter where you are at or what level of crypto degen you are. If you've been following my channel for a while, you would probably realize that this was a pretty different video from anything else that I've created in the past. I'd love to get your feedback on what you thought about the content of this video and what of these tips are going to be most helpful for you. So what I've done is, for 1 week, in the description, there is going to be a Google form that you can fill out, and I'm going to pick 2 winners who fill out that form successfully to win 250 USDC on the blockchain of their choice. If you can spread this video as far as possible, I think it's an incredibly important topic for people in our space that are so vulnerable to mental health issues as we ride the waves of the craziness of crypto, for better or worse. Again, if you are experiencing any severe mental health issues, make sure you reach out for help to a friend or a professional that can actually help you through those issues. I really hope these tips were helpful. I had a blast making this video and can't wait to see all of your reactions to it. Thanks so much, guys. This is Tosh signing out. Catch you on the next one.